Welcome, dear Dharma brothers and sisters, to our Sunday Dharma talk with Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We begin our practice and teachings today in our Yellow Garchen Institute prayer book on page 1. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents and the wealth of infinite oceans of realms. If I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception, please hold with compassion all the beings they contain. My body, enjoyments, and whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and sense sources, my aspirations now and in times to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine, by offering them all may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping. Completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending the names and concepts of arising, cessation, and abiding, coming and going, affirmation and denial. The supreme mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood. Om Guru Deva Dakini Ratna Mandala Pratishta Swaha. Namo. To the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence, I offer all appearance and existence arisen as the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord with five omniscient wisdoms, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind primordially pure and unborn as the unfathomable Dharmakaya. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater and lesser vehicles and the teachings common to both, according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Durjin Janjin Delo Naroda Mabamala Juje Gambo Ba Pamotre Pajawan Dugong Ba Kajula Manam Jeda Joje Nananda Nazara Damjedo Lamala Bala Jesus Lazon Yondin Jamzong Alavan Dende Donjin Rebegele Zor Dinjin Zava Lama Jije Kozon Doje Zelanda Dage Julan Bende Dage Demba Dansun Jije Jajin Bondo Brasin Jelabdo Zor Dharma brothers and sisters. As well, you know, we all have a wonderful golden opportunity to practice Dharma. Especially, we have a wonderful karma to practice Dharma together. And then this opportunity is very rare. It's not easily have this opportunity, because this is depending many causes and conditions, especially merit. Then we are going to utilize this golden opportunity for accomplish our precious jewels, which are we say Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So today I would like to offer the topic, what are listening, reflecting, and meditating in the Dharma. This is a pretty simple topic, but I preferred this topic because it is depending culture. For me, I grew in Buddhism culture. So since I participated in Buddhist center or practice, my gurus, they taught me step by step. Sometimes this is very important to remain Dharma certainly in the mind. And you also have a wonderful karma that is directly receive such a profound teachings. That is wonderful. But sometimes we have to know how to practice, how to listen, and how to reflect, how to meditate. If we know this, then we get a great benefit. Dharma practice is actually, first we have to understand. This is Buddha. He said that Buddha is over Buddha. So what Buddha said, we have to listen that. If we go through the way of Buddha's instruction, then there is no mistakes to practice Dharma. So Buddha said that, Buddha gave this example. If you are going to catch a snake, you have to know how to catch it. If you don't know how to catch it, then snake bite you. So that's where that means you have to know how to practice Dharma. So then there are many ways how to practice, but the first, listening. Then there are the six perceptions at the time of listening to Dharma. So these are very these are helpful method when we listen Dharma. We often hear Dharma, but if we have this method, then they help a lot. So this is my own experience too. So the first is first perception is we have to perceive oneself as a patience. Perhaps you think, why do I think like that? I'm not sick or something like that. Right, you are not sick. That's very good. But if you think carefully, we are sick by afflictive emotions. So we have angry emotion, and we have jealousy, we have attachment or desire, and we have a pride, and then we have, of course, grasping and greed, and every these things, they are illness, or they are cause of disease. If we liberate from them, then we can liberate from disease. So that's why, okay, I have like this cognitive obscurations. I have afflictive emotions. And then, but I have Buddha nature. So these cognitive obscurations and afflictive emotions are temporary. They are they do not exist inherently. They are just temporary. So then second perception is then who gave us like spiritual teachers are like a doctor. We have to perceive like that. The doctor and the medicine has relation, special relationship. We only knows, or they are medicine. They are not clothes. They are not water. We knows that, but doctors know which disease need what kind of medicine. This medicine is for what? It's like a uh, uh, which illness recover by this medicine. They know in details. Similarly, the spiritual teachers, uh, gurus, they knows. Uh, for example, angry emotion, antidote is patience, and the antidote of jealous is rejoice. But we know only that, but still how related, how to practice when uh, arising this jealousy uh, in our mind, and then how to practice on rejoice like that. So the thing is, if I'm sick, then I go and then I went to the doctor, and then doctor, what kind of he or she gave me advice, instructions. I have to listen whether that doctor is my friend or not, whether I this doctor uh, and this doctor is my relatives or not. Even though it's first time to see that doctor, but still have to listen what he said about that medicine, how to take this medicine, something like that, right? So that's where we have to uh, perceive, or we have to, uh, uh, yeah, perceived this doctor, the spiritual teacher as doctor. So this is the second perception. And then third, Dharma. Spiritual teachers give us Dharma. So then Dharma is we have to perceive Dharma is medicine. Uh, that's why these patients, doctor, medicine, this three has relationship, right? Special relationship. And then fourth is we have to understand medicine is for the sake of recovering from illness, right? Similarly, dharma occurs, help us to from occur. Sorry, dharma helps to us uh, recover from the illness of afflictive emotions. Even though if you have special or some you have strong anxiety. If you have strong anxiety or worry, then through Dharma practice you can remove it. That means you will you recover from the anxiety. So there are, and then the and then this number 5 is when this dharma is actually comes from Buddha's wisdom knowledge. Or this dharma came from Buddha's omniscience. So that's where we always think Buddha is our principal refuge. We are grateful to Buddha always. So the beginning of our teaching and practice, when we have time, we pray this open prayer. The reason is I hope if you don't have time to pray the refuge prayers in the morning or afternoon or evening, but during this Dharma teaching, at the same time you can recite this. So if you pray or recite these refuge prayers, it has really a great benefit. Because when you pray this, at that time, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, it's almost automatically you visualize. So when you only remember Buddha, Dharma, Sangha's name, it purifies or remove lots of obstacles. There is in the refugee teaching, there is a story. So one person, even though that person don't know well who are the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, but one person punish him, beat him, and then he was pain, and then he come back at his home on the bridge in the night. But on that bridge has a ghost, and then this ghost start to harm that person, but that person just pain his body. That's that person, the person who punish, he just say, it's take refuge Buddha, take refuge Dharma, take refuge Sangha. But he did not punish for that, but he just say it. And then he heard that. That's why he was pain, and then he come back at his home on the bridge, long bridge. Then he just remembered that, but then ghost could not harm. So only he remember names of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So it has so great benefit. We're not sure what kind of obstacles occur, even though the obstacles are this year obstacles come, this year will not come. We don't have a grant like that. We're not sure in 1 hour if we are healthy, happy, in another order, we're not sure. That's where whenever you remember only Buddha, Dharma, Sangha's name, it has so great benefit, really. That's where we often recite these prayers, and then we remember Buddha. And then if we, it's depending on your level of practice. I mean, you have a higher realization, and then you can dissolve your mind in Dharma, Buddha's mind. So this is a great meditation. Or you just faith in Buddha, or you just think the kindness of Buddha, you accumulate great merit. That's where the Dharma, Buddha is resource. Buddha is the cause of Dharma. So Dharma comes from Buddha's omniscience. So we always think Buddha is, we always remember the kindness of Buddha, right? And then the sixth perception is, I'm listening Dharma for what? For remain, we understand that Dharma is such a wonderful medicine. That's where I wish Dharma will remain longer in this world, in this samsara. So Dharma remains where? Dharma remains Sangha's mind. Right now we all Sangha, right? Dharma remains in our mind. So whenever you remember Buddha, then Dharma remains in your mind. So then how to remain Dharma is you have to remember the quality of Buddha, the quality of Dharma, and the quality of Sangha. This is a very important perceptions. Usually we say perceptions are not good, but these perceptions are very important and a great benefit. It has great benefit. And then we have to give up three defects. What are them? When we listen Dharma, I mean. So we said the three defects of the pot, right? P-O-T, pot. So when we listen Dharma, first, not to listen is to be like a pot turned upside down. So when I was a child, this is my teachers, spiritual teachers gave me often. So it's very easily I can catch it. But sometimes I lose, honestly. Sometimes I can't practice, but it helped me a lot. So this is a very good example. This is, for example, you are this example, right? This is pot, for example. And then I turn like this, and then you pull water on there. Any single water, the water drops never come inside, just come outside. And so this is a good example. That means you not listening Dharma. You not listening Dharma. That means this is, so it's like you pull water. After the pot turned upside down. So that means you have to listen when you practice Dharma. First, the listening is really important. Only you listening Dharma, it has great benefit. Listening Dharma is like precious jewels. But if you have a precious jewel, perhaps some thieves steal, or sometimes you lost it, or it's everything possible. But you listen Dharma carefully, this is always remain in your mind. When you have some difficulty situations, you utilize that. You remember and you utilize them. So then it helps you to liberate from these difficulty situations. So the Dharma listening is very important. And then second is it says not to be able to retain what you heard is to be like a pot with a hole in it. So this is also a good example. If you don't what you hear the Dharma, you have to, this is actually related to reflect, but you have to keep in your mind. If you don't keep, then if you are this ball, but here has a hole, and then how many water or nectars or some juice or whatever pull it, everything goes down. So that means you're hearing Dharma many times, but then the problem is we forget or we lose. That means we cannot keep it in our mind. And then third is, it says to mix negative emotions with what you hear is to be like a pot with poison in it. So when you listen Dharma, so why we do this? These prayers. Even we'll do longer prayer or short prayer. It's depending our time. But that means we make clean. If you are this bowl, you wash this, make clean, and then you pull here food, any kind of food. You can eat this. If this is gold, and then inside has lots of dirt, and then we buy some expensive food in a restaurant or somewhere, but the food is expensive and delicious, but we cannot eat. Similarly, when you listen Dharma with afflictive emotions, then at that time it is like a mixed delicious food and poisons. So when you begin of listening Dharma, we pray Buddha Dharma Sangha. Even though you remember Buddha Dharma Sangha, it makes clean your mind. And then you arise bodhicitta and compassion. Oh, I'm listening Dharma for the sake of mothers and human beings. Oh, today I'm listening Dharma for the sake of my friend, or my grandparents, or my parents. Oh, my parents are far away behind thousands of mountains, and we don't have time to talk often. So today I'm listening Dharma for the sake of my parents. This is your bodhicitta actually. So then your precious human life is like a golden pot. So then your precious life is clean, and then pull Dharma nectar, then it has energize. It has energy, and it has great benefit. So this is we try. Sometimes we of course it happened like different afflictive emotions arise during the teachings, listening, but we try to best. First we try, and then slowly we become familiar. And then slowly we become freedom. We have freedom. So that is these three things are very good examples. A good example, and so we have to be careful when we listen. But you think, oh, if I can't do like that, then I cannot listen Dharma. You don't think. This is misunderstand. Cause and effect. So listen, even you hearing single Dharma, it has so great benefit. This benefit remains in your future lives, not only this present life. And then there is another, the sixth stance. We have to avoid them. So what are them? First is pride. If we listen, when we listen Dharma, we often listen Dharma anywhere, anytime. Even though you listen from the computer or from this recording, if you have pride in your mind, pride, this is a great, great obstacle, because then that Dharma cannot benefit to you. For example, of course, we never happened like that, but I just for the sake of make sense. His Eminence Garchi Rinpoche gave us teaching, and we always listen his teaching. But somewhere we memoried already, so it's quite. We know, yeah, that part we know. Then if I think, oh, I know that, it's often it's repeat. If I think I know, he repeated often. If I have that perception, this is my pride. Then I cannot bring benefit from that part of the teaching. And also, there are many ways. When we listen Dharma, we have to be humble and simple. Ourselves, not physically. I mean, physically, it's your physical condition. It's depending your physical condition. But in the mind, you listen carefully, and you already know that part, but still you reflect. Reflection is the benefit is that, right? Okay, I already heard that. I already learned this. Even I already meditate on that. But still he repeat that Dharma word again, and then I reflect. If I do that, then we get extra benefit. Really. That's often happen that when listening Dharma carefully. Oh, I know why I listen this again often. Then, I mean, so anyhow, that is pride. So we have to remove our pride when we listen the Dharma. Then second is lack of faith. Faith. This is whether spiritual teachers are higher guru or just your Dharma friends. But you have to trust in this Dharma teaching. This is like a bridge. If you lack of trust in the faith, then how many times you listen Dharma, there are some benefit, but you will not have a great benefit. So this is the special path. Disciples and spiritual gurus, the connection, special connection between gurus and disciples. Faith is very important. Very important. Important means it benefit to you. If you are lack of faith, Buddha comes here teach, it cannot make benefit. Sometimes we are totally lost our freedom because of our grasping and afflictive emotions. Then sometimes that happened like that. It says in Dharma teaching, Buddha fly in the space in front of your eyes, you will not any single faith. You will just you easily ignore that. And then you see some animals or human being, somebody who I can't say that exactly, but sick seriously. It's really, even though their enemy see that situation, still they feel compassion, but you have nothing. That means you see some animals are suffering or sentient being. You have no compassion. That means you will not arise any you will not arise compassion. Sometimes we have like that because of our grasping, because of our ignorance. The main thing is our ignorance. So that's where we have to and the faith is very important. Faith, right? Faith. If we have faith, for example, I give you one example. On the daytime, we listen Dharma from Guru, and the daytime, if we did not hear special thing from this teaching, but in the night you are sleeping, in the dream you have some benefit from that teaching. So this is the power of your faith in spiritual teacher or guru, right? So we need that. And then there is third, lack of effort. So effort is we say enthusiasm. So in the 6 Panja Parimatas, number 4 is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is like a wires from the electricity, not electricity. What is called the what is it called this and the engine, the no, the in the solar electricity, there was engine, right? Engine, generator, and then we connect their wire, and then this is the ball, right? Power between there has some connection, which is like a wire, or we can say internet. So the effort or enthusiasm is helpful. So now we all have enthusiasm to practice Dharma, listen Dharma, and but we have to promote, improve. If we improve that, right now we have okay. Today, for example, here today holiday we are work, or still we are going to work, but still there are only 1 hour or 2 hour we use that for Dharma practice. So this is the power of your enthusiasm over enthusiasm. If we don't have enthusiasm, then we can't do it. Oh, since this morning I work, still I have to work even afternoon or evening, then now I really can't do it. that means we are lack of effort, right? So then that next is outward distraction. So this is today there is the time to Dharma practice, like a meditation or like listening the Dharma or Dharma discourse or something like that. But in the city, there is some performance like a dance or something, different things. So I would go there. Or today I will go to play basketball instead of listening the Dharma or practice Dharma. So this is like a outward distraction. But I do not criticize the to see watch this how to say the basketball or this play games. If you arise good motivation, bodhicitta, and you watch them, it has benefit. And also same like you are working. When you are work, you arise bodhicitta and the compassion. Then you are working is also dharma activities really. So and then uh, uh, inward tension. It says inward tension. That is like uh, you are you're less interested in enthusiasm, just listening, but still it's no interesting. You cannot wake up something like you cannot listen carefully, enthusiastically. So if you listen that, then still it's hard to come the benefit, right? This is always we have these situations anytime, even though we uh, any kind of actions, not only dharma listening the dharma or practicing dharma and so on. And then next is discouragement. uh, Discouragement is actually it's include the laziness. Oh, I can't do because dharma is not my culture. So no, I am old or I am something. If you have like that, then this is mm, obstacle. So if you are 18, 90 years old, still if you practice dharma, then dharma benefit to you, and your dharma practice can benefit all mother sentient beings. Even you arise bodhicitta in single moment, it has so great benefit. So when we listen, I mentioned there are different numbers. If you can't practice all of them, it's okay. It's okay. You don't worry. You you pick up one of them. Which one you can do, which one you can put into the action, and especially which one you like. I mean, you have more interest in to do. So this is mm, perhaps you already heard them. Uh, Perhaps I think it possible the first time to hearing like this, heard this. Uh, so uh, it helped a lot. It helps a lot when you listen dharma from the your gurus. So it helps you to remain dharma in your mind, and it helps you to increase your dharma knowledge. And that if you and also the listening dharma is first listening dharma is important. After then how to listen is very important, right? And then the reflecting. Reflecting is It is including the what is called? I forgot that name. Mm, it's actually including analytical meditation. Analytical meditation. But this is I'm not sure 100%, but if I say that, may it's okay. But let you know in the future. Until now, I little observed these wonderful gurus' way of practice, how they practice. Of course, some part is very hard to. Some part of their practice is unfathomable, but many times it seems they're really reflecting in Dharma. That is what I know. Probably I think I'm right. His Holiness Dalai Lama and His Eminence Garchi Rinpoche, they all reflect in Dharma. I mean, they sitting, eating, working, talking. It seems they reflect. And then I think the reflect on Dharma. It has great benefit, even though it changes one's action. Really. And then the Dharma remain in the mind very certainly. What they hear and what they read and what they have realizations. As recently I taught you during the second thought. Realizations are impermanent. If you don't keep continuously, if you don't practice continuously, they are impermanent. Faith is impermanent. Bad things are impermanent, good things are impermanent. So that's why we have to continually practice. So they almost like a 24/7 is maybe too much, but 24 hours, for example, it seems they really reflect in Dharma. So that's where their Dharma method is very special. Dharma realization is very special. So this is the reflective. And then if we are not developed over reflecting in Dharma, right? Or on Dharma, then our meditation will not be certain. I can say they are almost 90%, not 100%. 90% for sure, I think. Because then we cannot progress our meditation. So reflecting helps a lot. For example, if I have a realization of emptiness, if I do not reflect on there, if I do not emphasize on there, then it is not growing. It is not grow. It has not grown. It isn't grown, right? So if I reflect on there, and then I get extra examples, or I get extra the method how to maintain in emptiness and how to promote quickly, fastly or something. Many methods arise in the, and then in a one day, what time is best time to meditate in emptiness, on emptiness. So the reflecting, especially Buddhism is Buddha. Everybody maybe watched Buddha's story, right? You watch that, then you get really special method how to practice Dharma. When in this Actually, Buddha, he himself, he practiced many ways. He practiced the Dharma in many ways, but the principal way to Dharma practice is his wisdom. He used, he used his wisdom. How many times we used our wisdom in Dharma practice, then our wisdom increase. So the reflecting is very helpful, and it's very important in the daily life that we can do. If you perhaps you think, oh, I know only how to recite the three jewels prayer, or I know only how to recite Om Mani Padme Hum, the 6 syllable mantra. So then, if I know others like Dzogpa Chimbo, Mahamudara, Madhyamaga, then I can reflect. But I then Om Mani mantra, how I can reflect that? It's very simple. If perhaps you think like that, I have thought like that. I have ever thought like that. But then slowly, what I think is, if we reflect only on 6 syllable mantra, the 6 syllable mantra is combination of all dharma and union of completion stage and generation stage, or vipassana shamatha, everything's including there, right? Only we say om, oh, five wisdoms, something like that. And then how to arise these things, how to relate it when I recite om, something like that. There are lots of benefit. If then you have your this reflecting developed, progressed in your mind, and then it's support to your meditation. You have to meditate. Meditation is actually comes from listening and reflecting. And then you this dharma, if you need experience, then you have to meditate. Only listening and reflecting, that's not enough. You have to meditate. These three things are interdependent each others. Reflecting, listening, and meditating, these three things are interdependent each others. So what you hear, if you hear only the words of emptiness, then you reflect. How is it emptiness? You reflect, oh, maybe this is colorless or formless. You realize that. That realization is the result of reflecting or reflecting. But the meditation is, you should dissolve into emptiness by yourself. I. First we have this identification. I. And then this next we have another identification, which is my. I is very strong, and then my is very important. Then all the sufferings, problems occur from these two things, I and my, perception of I and my. So we have to meditate. For example, you meditate in emptiness. Usually we say these five aggregates from feet to your crown, my body. We think I'm here, right? And then you, from your crown to your feet, there any single part does not remain permanently. It's impermanence. The impermanence means interdependence. So they are interdependence, and then you observe them, and you separate each and every part. Then finally you cannot find anything there. So finally you cannot find base of I. So for example, this hand, if I make like this, then everybody sees something. If we do not analyze, then there is something. But we separate like fingers, each and every one, and then skins, or there's no anything. So only no, there's no anything. That is very good realization, but still we have to feel. We have to dissolve in this realization. This comes from meditation. So then meditation has many way to meditate. For instance, you do retreat, more than 3 year retreat. Of course, at that time you can meditate. And you do short retreat, you can meditate. And during you chanting and practicing, at that time you can meditate. All of these meditations are wonderful. But then the best, I almost said it, best thing is be mindful. Be mindful and watch your body, speech, and mind. This is very important. You watch your body, and I don't know, is my actions are non-virtue or virtues? Non-virtues or virtues? Right? You watch, you be mindful, you watch it mindfully. If these are non-virtues, then you fixed. If you cannot fix completely because of your condition, it's okay. You purify. You purify the non-virtues. Purify means you should recite the 100-syllable mantra of Vajrasattva or 35 conventional Buddhas and so on. Or you don't have time to recite that long mantras or recitations, still in your mind, like I'm sorry, something like that. It also, sorry, kind of sorry, it is also, it has a great benefit. For example, I give you an example. You have water somewhere, what is called pond. If you shake that water, then weather is pretty cold, but then it cannot become ice because you shaked. Similarly, if you made some mistake through your body and then you think I'm sorry in front of three jewels is always in front of you. So you say sorry, or you think from your mind, sorry, something like that. And then this non-virtue cannot be certainly in your mind. I mean, then you purify the imprinting of that non-virtue. So then this non-virtue has no opportunity to increase. Right? You just, I'm sorry. This is very important. Yes. And then, if you have time to purify this, Ngachin Rinpoche often taught us Sojong. What meaning of Sojong? Sojong means purify non-virtues and increase. Making increase of increase the virtues. So Sojong actually in monastics, they do it in particularly time, for example, in a 1 month, 2 times, something like that. But the reality of Sojong is everybody, all Dharma practitioners can do, all mother sentient beings can do, especially all Dharma practitioners can do it, and all the time. Not always like a full moon day, not always the 30 or some these days. We do each and every moment, right? If we think scientifically, it's true. Even though I recite only one stanza in this prayer, after in my mind, I'm sorry if I made some wrong, if I made some mistake. Or if I meditate a few minutes, and after I say sorry. So then sorry has, there's 2 ways. One way is you say sorry, but before you say the sorry or something like that, you dedicate. You dedicate, then you do not worry about that, your virtue. Your virtue remains purely. Your virtue remains purely means this benefit, you can utilize that benefit in future lives. So the this today's topic is pretty simple, but hopefully you can use as much as possible, and at least you use that for 1 month, 2 months, and then probably you will understand how much it has benefit. But not only Dharma listening, right? We listen some other things. For example, I'm a learner of English, so sometimes I watch some like someone's speaking or something like that. If I listen carefully, then even though I see some mistakes clearly there, and then if I don't listen carefully, then that listens cannot make a benefit. If I listen carefully, then sometimes I found new vocabularies and so on. That's why everything's are similar, because everything's are interdependent. Interdependent. Dependent. Thank you. So, okay, then thank you very much. And after we will meditate on the shamatha without in object. If you have time to join, let us meditate together. Thank you very much. O Chan Cho Sen Jo Ren Bo Ji Ma Ji Ba Nan Ji Jo Ji Ji Ba Nyam Ba Mi Ba Yang Gon E Gon De Pe Wa Jo.
May Bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you very much.